Have you ever found yourself lost in thought, going over the same things again and again, replaying the past, imagining every possible future, or obsessing over something that hasn't even happened yet? You're sitting in one place, but your mind is running a marathon. Sounds familiar, right? That's the silent pattern of overthinking, something so many of us fall into without even realizing it. And the more we think, the more distant we feel from what's actually happening right now. It might sound simple, but it's true. The present moment, the one you're in right now, is the only real moment you have. And in today's first teaching, Light of Buddhism, invites you to reconnect with that truth. Because when you return to the now, peace naturally follows. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." This isn't just a spiritual quote to reflect on, it's a practice. Think about it. No matter how much regret or guilt you carry, the past can't be changed. And no matter how much you prepare or worry, the future hasn't arrived. Yet we spend most of our time mentally living in these two places, places that don't even exist in the present. That's where suffering begins. But peace, it lives in the now, right here, in this breath, in this moment. There's a Buddhist story of a monk traveling with his young disciple. As they came upon a rushing river, the disciple hesitated, filled with fear. The water looked wild. He imagined all the things that could go wrong, but the monk calmly stepped in and said, "The river is always flowing, but the only way to cross it is to be present." His words were more than reassurance, they were wisdom. When we're present, we move forward. When we overthink, to calm your mind, you don't need to do something extraordinary. Sometimes, all it takes is pausing for a deep breath and gently reminding yourself, "I am here now. This moment is enough." When you allow yourself to fully arrive in the present, your noisy thoughts begin to soften, like ripples settling on a still lake. You begin to see clearly. You begin to feel peace. And you realize, maybe peace was never far away. Maybe it was always right here, waiting for you to notice. Thoughts are like clouds. Let them drift by. Have you ever felt like your thoughts were just too much? Like they were crowding your mind, one on top of the other, making it hard to breathe or think clearly? That's what overthinking does. It makes the mind feel heavy, chaotic, and overwhelmed. But Buddhism offers us a gentle shift in perspective. What if you could see your thoughts not as problems to fix, but simply as passing clouds in the sky? The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts we make the world." That means the way we engage with our thoughts has real power. But here's the key. You don't have to believe everything you think. Not every thought deserves your attention, and not every mental story is true. Just like clouds, thoughts come and go. Some are dark and stormy, others light and harmless, but none of them stay forever. When we stop clinging to our thoughts or trying to control them, something beautiful happens. They begin to lose their grip on us. Picture yourself sitting beside a river. You see leaves floating by on the surface. Would you chase after each one? Of course not. You'd simply watch them pass. That's how we can begin to relate to our thoughts. Observe them, but don't get pulled in. This doesn't mean you ignore important things. It means you stop identifying with every little thought that pops into your head. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that notices them. Overthinking happens when we give too much energy to every thought that arises, trying to analyze it, control it, or fix it. But when we create space between ourselves and our thoughts, peace can return. And here's the truth. That peace was never lost. It was just buried under the noise. Buddhism teaches us to return to that inner stillness, not by force, but by gentle awareness. So next time your mind feels stormy, try this. Pause, breathe, and watch your thoughts drift by like clouds. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to judge them. Just let them float on. With time, you'll begin to see that your thoughts don't have to control you. You can be free. Overthinking creates suffering. Let go of what you can't control. Think about how often your mind spins around things you can't change. Maybe it's a conversation that didn't go the way you hoped, a decision you regret, a future outcome you're desperately trying to predict or prevent. Overthinking convinces us that if we just think hard enough, we'll find certainty, safety, or the perfect solution. But more often than not, all it brings is exhaustion and anxiety. Buddhism teaches us that this need to control, to hold tight to outcomes, to manage every detail of life, is a major cause of suffering. The Buddha said, "Suffering is not caused by the events in our lives, but by our reaction to them." That means it's not the challenge itself that hurts us. It's our mental resistance to it. It's our refusal to let go. The truth is, some things are simply out of our hands, and when we cling to them, we create more pain for ourselves. A well-known teaching from Thich Nhat Hanh tells of a person pushing a huge boulder uphill, sweating and struggling, completely worn down. When asked why they kept pushing, they answered, "Because I'm supposed to." Thich Nhat Hanh gently replied, "But the boulder isn't moving. Why not let go?" This is the heart of Buddhist wisdom. Sometimes peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from releasing what we were never meant to carry. Next time you find yourself trapped in a loop of overthinking, ask yourself this simple question. Is this something I can control? If the answer is no, breathe and let it go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting life. It means freeing your mind from the illusion that you can control everything and allowing space for calm and clarity to return. When you loosen your grip, you open your heart. You stop trying to force the future or rewrite the past. You just be. And in that state of surrender, something remarkable happens. Suffering begins to ease, and peace quietly takes its place. Practice mindfulness. Anchor yourself in your breath to quiet the mind. When your thoughts feel like they're racing, when your head is spinning with what-ifs and worst-case scenarios, what do? Most people try to think their way out of it, but as you may have noticed, that only adds more noise. Buddhism offers a different approach. Don't fight your thoughts. Come home to your breath. Mindfulness means paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, and without judgment. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most transformative practices we have, and it starts with something you already carry with you every moment of your life: your breathing. The Buddha taught, when the mind is calm, the breath is calm. This connection goes both ways. When you calm your breath, you help calm your mind. Try it now. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Feel the air fill your lungs. Pause. Then exhale gently through your mouth. Feel your body soften, your shoulders relax. As you breathe, you are not lost in the past or the future. You are here, right now, just this breath. And then the next. In the midst of overthinking, your breath can become your anchor. It doesn't stop the thoughts from coming, but it gives you a way not to be swept away by them. The more you return to your breath, the more you train your mind to be steady, focused, and calm. It's like a muscle. Your presence grows stronger with practice. You don't need a quiet room, a meditation cushion, or a perfect schedule to practice mindfulness. You can do it while walking, washing dishes, or waiting in traffic. What matters is that you remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. And when you rest your awareness in your breath, even for a few seconds, you create space between you and the storm. In that space, there is peace. And over time, as mindfulness becomes your habit, that peace becomes your default. You no longer react to every anxious thought. You simply return to the breath, again and again, and let your mind settle like still water. Simplicity is freedom. Stop complicating life with unnecessary worries. In today's world, life often feels like it's moving too fast. We're constantly juggling tasks, managing expectations, worrying about the future, and trying to hold everything together. No wonder our minds feel cluttered. But here's a question worth asking. How much of what you're worried about right now actually matters? Buddhism reminds us that much of our suffering doesn't come from life itself, but from how we complicate it. One of the most calming and profound truths in Buddhist philosophy is that simplicity leads to freedom. The more we strip away what's unnecessary, both in our external lives and in our inner dialogue, the more space we make for peace. We don't need to solve every problem or chase every desire to be happy. As the Dhammapada says, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Simplicity isn't just about having fewer things. It's about needing less mental clutter. Letting go of the thoughts that don't serve you. Releasing the urge to analyze every situation, fix every outcome, or replay conversations in your head. It's about softening your grip on perfection and learning to be okay with what is. Zen monks often live by the principle of shibumi, the quiet elegance of simplicity. They understand that when life is simple, it becomes more meaningful. In your own life, that might look like spending more time in silence, setting clearer boundaries, or reminding yourself daily of what truly matters. Your peace, your breath, your ability to show up with presence and compassion. When you choose simplicity, you choose clarity. You begin to see that many of the things you stress over don't need to take up so much space in your mind. And in that gentle letting go, you create room for stillness, for joy, and for a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. Trust in impermanence. Nothing lasts forever, not even your struggles. When you're caught in a spiral of overthinking, it can feel like there's no way out. The thoughts seem endless, the worries feel permanent, and peace feels far away. But Buddhism offers a gentle reminder, one that has helped people for thousands of years through their deepest fears and most tangled thoughts. Everything changes. The Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. Strive on with diligence. In other words, nothing lasts forever, not your anxiety, not your confusion, not even your current situation. This is the teaching of impermanence. It may sound simple, but it's deeply liberating, because once you truly understand that everything is temporary, you stop clinging to what hurts you. You stop believing the lie that you'll always feel this way. Overthinking often comes from the fear that what we're experiencing now will stay forever, that the discomfort, the uncertainty, or the emotional pain is permanent. but it isn't. Just like clouds, seasons, and breath, everything moves, everything shifts, and that includes you. There is a certain peace that comes when you stop resisting change and start trusting it. Even the most difficult emotions eventually soften. Even the most stubborn thoughts eventually pass. You don't need to force it. You just need to be patient, present, and aware. Your mind, like everything else in life, has the capacity to heal and renew. So the next time your thoughts feel too loud or your heart feels too heavy, gently remind yourself, this is temporary. The storm will pass. The noise will fade. And underneath it all, your inner stillness remains, unchanged, steady, and always waiting for your return. When we embrace impermanence, we let go of our desperate need to control, to fix, or to have all the answers right now. We open ourselves to the flow of life, trusting that even if we don't know what comes next, we can meet it with calm, clarity, and compassion. You've just journeyed through 6 timeless Buddhist teachings, each one a gentle reminder that peace is always within reach, even when the mind feels chaotic. Overthinking doesn't have to control your life. With presence, mindfulness, and trust in the ever-changing nature of things, you can return to a state of calm, one breath and one thought at a time. If this video spoke to something inside you, if it helped you feel even a little more grounded, we invite you to carry these teachings into your everyday life. Practice them slowly, consistently, and with kindness toward yourself. And remember, healing the mind is not about force. It's about awareness and patience. If you found this video meaningful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may also be struggling with overthinking. Let's continue walking this path of mindfulness and inner peace together. From all of us at Light of Buddhism, thank you for being here. Stay present, stay peaceful, and may you find clarity in every moment.